I admit I was astonished to be asked to do this, and I'm very grateful. Thank you, Anthony. I haven't been back to Stowe for 30 years since I left, and it's been quite surprisingly emotional, so thank you all for having me. Given the importance of today, I considered talking to you about the power of positive thinking, emotional resilience, social media, enthusiasm, not watching porn, and being kind. But actually, I want to talk to you about the importance of having a laugh. The funny thing is, I'm only here because of the job that I have, and yet I know I'm going to get sacked. It's not a big deal, it's just what happens. Being a magazine editor is like being a football coach or a politician. It always ends in tears. That's not such a bad thing, and let me explain why. I'm too stupid to be able to hold in my mind that I'm going to die one day. And so I'm not very good at all that carpe diem stuff. But I do absolutely know that one day I will be led, sobbing gently, from the Tatler offices. It'll be a bit embarrassing for a couple of weeks, but I'll get over it. So I figure I may as well get sacked for having a laugh and doing what I thought was funny. To me, having a laugh is all about actively choosing to see the funny side, which in turn is all about controlling your thoughts, otherwise known as positive thinking. So actually, I am going to talk about that for a bit. I have a friend who's just made $100 million. She uses something she calls the magic. To you and I, it's positive visualization. She actually decides to steer her thoughts rather than just letting her mind run randomly. She decides to think about what it will be like when she has achieved something extraordinary. She does this as often as possible and has made a fortune by doing it. I'm now going to tell you something very personal. Last year I gave birth to twins. Woo. I was 46. Now, probably most of you in this room have not given this much thought, and if you did, it probably made you feel sick. But a 46-year-old woman is unlikely to have babies without a lot of highly trained medical assistance. So I spent a year having IVF. Fertility treatment is, without doubt, the toughest thing I have ever done. It's the closest I will ever come to being truly heroic. Every time it didn't work, I felt as though I was being swallowed by a black hole of misery. As it happened, for the whole year I was having treatment, I was also being filmed for a BBC Two documentary about Tatler. No one knew. No one at the office, no one on the film crew. I would have to sneak out of meetings and inject myself in the bathroom at work. And month after month, I didn't get pregnant. The point of telling you this is that I was forced to control my thoughts. Every single morning, I had to walk into that office and be a glossy magazine editor. I had to come up with funny ideas in public. I had to be cheery, see the funny side, and have a laugh. And believe me, it helped. Try it. When life is hard, fake it till you make it. You may think that this is all very well, but how can you control your thoughts when life is truly shocking? Viktor Frankl was a Jewish psychiatrist who was sent to Auschwitz. His mother, brother, and wife all died in concentration camps. He's famous for his assertion that even in the most painful circumstances, life has meaning. And it may seem trivial that I'm quoting Frankl in a speech about having a laugh, but he's also famous for his conclusion that even though we may not control circumstances, we can control our reaction. He said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response." Laughter fact: your body doesn't know you're faking it. Learning to laugh at things and perhaps not take yourself too seriously will help you put things into perspective. And with that comes emotional resilience. Things will go horribly wrong for you in one way or another. And how you deal with that is what's important. A definition of resilience can be how quickly you bounce back from disappointment. Why wouldn't you choose to bounce as quickly as you can? Be a bouncer. Laughter fact. A study by the University of California and the University of Zurich found that those people who are able to laugh at themselves tend to be more cheerful. And laughter, smiling, and optimism are linked to overall better health. By the way, shared laughter creates empathy, and empathy is a genuine superpower. It's a fast track to happiness and success. There isn't a lot of empathy on social media. We all know that we feel terrible when we see endless posts of others' supposedly glorious lives. But when you're posting yourself, you can forget that you're having exactly the same effect on other people. We can't whine about how destructive social media can be unless we take responsibility for our own use of it. So stop showing off. Use it lightly, have a laugh with it. Promise yourself that for every deeply serious, self-regarding post you make, you will also make one, which is life-enhancing and will make other people laugh. Laughter fact. Research by Oxford University indicated that group laughter significantly raises your pain threshold. There is no question that laughter can be applied in a medical context for both psychological and physical pain. Laughter triggers an endorphin response, and endorphins can be 30 times more powerful than morphine. Watching funny videos has been shown to reduce hospital patients' need for painkillers, and it's dose-related. People in the experiment who laughed more felt less pain later. It's impossible to laugh unless you're being enthusiastic. And if you want to be attractive to others, be enthusiastic. In romantic relationships, in friendships, and at work. I'm lucky enough to be in a position, for now, to give people jobs. When I interview people, I yearn for enthusiasm and fun. And I know you'll all have been coached relentlessly on interview technique, but please, for me, next time you are in an interview, spare a thought for your interviewer. It's like going on 20 dates with people you're never going to sleep with. Beyond a regular level of intelligence, enthusiasm and wit, that's what I want. Forget how frightened you are, frankly, that's boring. I've sat in front of 12 other people just like you with that same nervous rash creeping up their necks. After a while, you get obsessed with charting its progress. I've just given a job to a girl called Philippa Durrell. She is now officially Tatler's watch and jewellery editor, which is a peach of a job. I gave it to her because she was so enthusiastic and fun, even though she wasn't as well qualified as the other applicants. But after just one interview, I knew I wanted to work with her every day. Once again, think about it from the interviewer's point of view. I have to pick someone I'm going to spend more time with than I do with my husband and children. On the basis of a 20-minute chat while I watch that rash creep up your neck, you'd better be fun. Laughter fact. A small study by Indiana State University showed that laughter can boost the immune system by up to 40%. So I lied. You know what's coming. I talked about positive thinking, emotional resilience, social media, enthusiasm. And now I'm going to mention porn. And I can see you clenching with embarrassment. Oh, God, please, will she stop? And that includes my father, who's sitting there. I'll be brief. What does porn have to do with having a laugh? Well, the more you watch, the less likely you are to have a laugh in real life. Your own responses to real-life situations can be sabotaged if you consume porn at an age when your brains are more plastic, more prone to permanent change, which, if you're a teenager in this room, is now. Time magazine, published last month, said, "Porn has always faced criticism amongst the faithful and the feminist, but now, for the first time, some of the most strident alarms are coming from the same demographic as its most enthusiastic customers." A professor of psychology at Stanford University says, "The problem is, as you do this more and more, the reward centers of your brain lose the capacity for arousal. You're a generation who are picky about what you put into your bodies. Be picky about what you put into your brain. Porn, violent movies, you can't unsee that stuff. Even if you decide to ignore all of the above, which you shouldn't. As my friend Claudia Winkleman says to her son, you love your mother, you love your sister. Those other women are not having a good time. They are not having a laugh." Laughter fact. Laughing with other people is proven to be even better at relieving pain than laughing alone. As teenagers, you well know what it's like to be both judgmental and clinically oversensitive. So be kind and compassionate and share your laughter. Include other people. Include your parents, by the way. No one will ever laugh more easily with you or think you're cleverer or funnier, ever. We all know the overwhelming yearning to belong to a tribe or a gang, whether it's online or in real life. So make sure your laughter is inclusive and not meanly directed at other people. And I'm not asking you to do this for any saintly reason other than it will make you happier. So really all I have to tell you is find the funny side, stop showing off, be enthusiastic, don't watch porn, be kind, and have a laugh. Thank you.